Hey traders, Nick Shaheen looking at Tesla again. Not too long ago I shared a video, it was pretty popular for my little group, and it was very accurate. I mentioned 352 I think in the number with the oh shit moment, and it came. I didn't predict it. I'm not claiming that. I did show the levels where this would trigger that and that would trigger this. I showed the upside and the downside. Boom, the downside happened regardless of what caused it. The setup was there technically. Okay. The point of this video is to see what now. I just had a conversation with a couple of people that said, somebody tagged me and said, hey, your video was spot on. You said 350 and it went down to 350. I may have said 352, but I'll take the credit. Thank you very much. It's not a random number. If I look left, it played a big role on the way up. And so when they fall back down to it, it's going to play a big role again. So this is the attempt to hold. The problem with it is if it doesn't hold, they'll fill the gap. Do you want me to say the number? 250. So I'm not predicting it, but should the market fall out of bed next week, I don't think Tesla can rally all by itself. The point is, if you're a fan of the stock or you're long, you don't want it to fall below 350-ish because the VIX is so high that a hard line in the sand is ridiculous. I mean, I remember when I was talking futures contracts trades with friends, it'd be like 2 or 3 points here and there. Now I have to throw a 50-point wide range because I couldn't scroll fast enough to click to put an order the other day in the futures. I would click, no, but order rejected. It's like, what the hell? So anyway, pray that it holds 350. I don't care if it does or it doesn't. I'm not a fan of the stock. I'm not a fan of the company. I like the cars, but I'm not poo-pooing the thesis because I know it's long-term, etc. But I need to see some of that long-term money come into play other than cars, like the roof tiles or whatever, and some battery technology and other things that people speculate about. Hold 350. That's statement number one. Otherwise, down. So the other thing to look for is how far was this fall? And where's the 50% ratio? I'm not saying because that's the rule, because that's what the machines are going to look for. That's what the experts are going to say on TV, on CNBC to be exact. Sorry, I'm tracking Zscaler. It looks like it wants to break out intraday. Oh, today is the 20th, Friday, quadruple witching. So usually they look at extensions, right? They mention Fibonacci. So this level we determined was important from here. There's a little gap here this is the level I mentioned. So the technical target of this, if it breaks down, is way below that, but let's not go there. This is a well-consolidated zone that should hold. That's the point of control right there, that orange line. This is the mathematical value for most of the trading. So this rally was big, but it didn't consolidate enough. It happened too fast. Yes, there was big volume, but if you consider this whole period of time since last May, this is where all the trading happened by a long shot. That volume bar right there, see? This is the second biggest volume, third biggest volume. This is how little happened for this. So that's why when you look at volumes down here, it's an incomplete picture. You want to see the volume here because it gives you the, this is when it happened, this is where it happened. So topography. All right. So usually if I want to eyeball the mid part, I'm going to put a line right there. It's probably not the mid part, but that's the line that sticks to my mind that has a lot of resistance. So if we want to short it, if I want to short it, I would probably short it there, like sell calls there with a tight stop. Another line that sticks to my eye is here. So this is a round number. I think technically it's this one. So this is a zone that should be where it's at right now. It should be some resistance. This is a wick right here, so they rejected it. So that confirms that this zone right there, the $500 mark, is also a level to pay attention to. And this is another one right here. So if I want to be surgical, I can get surgical with it. Let me see if I can do that here. So let me put back the drawings. Don't get scared. I leave a lot of drawings on the chart. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. This is daily, so let's go to 2 hours. All right. So you can see I usually put a couple of scenarios at every point. Like here it was tight. I said either up or down. It came up and then down. So here somebody asked me today, I'm going to zoom in even more. They're day trading it. So I said these are the lines to look at Tesla. I said it's going to break if it's going to try to break out from here. it's probably going to stall somewhere around here, take a little dip, and then finish the job if it wants to. There's a gap here that may fill. So they're trying to start. I said conversely, that it has a potential to do kind of thing. And then I said I did not draw the potential downside if it loses the 350 mark. And that was that line I was speaking about, because I didn't want to scare them. Sorry, the chat room is open. By the way, there's a link to the chat room down below. It's free to try it. Give it a whirl. We do this all day, every day alive. So there are lines short-term to pay attention to, but most people are not that fast. This is a little slower look. Actually, I'm going to go back to daily. So this is the extension, the Fibonacci lines. I'll take them out because they're noisy visually. It's right here. So this is the 50% mark. I almost drew it perfectly by hand. Okay, so I'm going to take it out because it's just visual noise. Pay attention to the charts because they do have clues. I'm a fundamental trader. Like I prefer taking a bet on a company if I know its fundamentals, but I never do anything without looking at the charts. So there's a lot of information in the charts. So if I'm long Tesla and I didn't sell it from up here, and my thesis is $4,000 or $10,000 like that lady on TV, then it's ridiculous for me to sell it here. Clearly I have a long-term prospect, and clearly nothing has changed. If anything, it showed that Tesla financially is better than Ford. Who would have thought that? So kudos, you know. So at least that's what the market is saying this week. It's ridiculous to sell it here. If I'm looking to get long Tesla because I was on board of that idea, but I missed that crazy run up when it was running 15, 20% every day, then how come I didn't buy it yet? Type of a deal. If I was short Tesla, I'd book it. It's a crazy stock. You won. Kudos. Walk away. If I'm looking to short Tesla from here, might as well short the whole market, because I think if the market rallies and there's no earnings coming and Elon's not going to leave the company and he's healthy, then Tesla is going to move with the market, only a little bit faster. People love it, the stock. They're in love with it. It's almost like Omega in the olden days. It's a cult stock. So it's a momentum stock, so it runs fast. It's like Shopify. I prefer Shopify personally, fundamentally, because it's like a mini Amazon in the making, and it's a monster. So if I'm long Shopify, I don't add Tesla type of a deal because they're kind of similar company profile, chart profiles, stock profiles. You know, they run fast with the general market. So if I'm bearish the whole market, I could short the market via Tesla, but I would rather short the market because Tesla's nuts. So I just gave you my ideas here and how the logic that I would. So long term, this is nothing. It's just time to average down maybe. I'm not a proponent of it. I don't think it's that great long term. I definitely don't think it's $4,000. Or I don't want to say it's a Tilray situation because this is by no means a Tilray P&L. But the stock, that explosion was just, I've never seen it before. It's just, I have seen it before in Tilray, but before that I've never seen it. Anyway, next signing out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. By the way, thank you for whoever was the 1,000th subscriber. Thank you very much. Later, bye.